All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is having a good week. I know we are. So I wanted to do an update for midterm and then kind of get a beginning teaser on white whale rewards. So, as we can all see, and we've all been kind of watching the chart on midterm, it has been nothing but gorgeousness since launch. I think we're almost up 8x with no red in sight. It has been up only. So, and it's going to continue to do that because the market cap is still under 100K and we haven't really even been pushing it other than, our bull posters and, the team that we have already kind of put together, but we haven't even call pushed or influencer pushed or anything. Yeah, there's no need. It's still early. Having said that, I would probably go out on a limb and say it's the most gorgeous chart on Solana right now, other than the lack of volume. But I'm okay with that still because once volume doubles, triples, quadruples from here, we're going to rip straight to $50 a token. And then, we're going to blow through that. And then, the more buybacks are going to kick in. So we did do the first buyback at 50K market cap. So every 50K market cap intervals on the way up, we spend 0.5% of the creator fees on the buybacks for midterm. So having said that, let me explain something. I'm going to move to white whale rewards real quick. So there's a reason why the chart looks the way that it does. So if you kind of, and I'm not going to flip through the screens and do a bunch of screen shares on this video, but if you go to our holder count, you will see that we have quite a few whales holding 5%. So we have an internal group called the 5% Apex Whale Predators. So, these are, so for now, and it's going to continue to grow because this is why we're building what we're building. So these are our loyalists, right? These are investors who we know every single wallet. And they're holding the floor. That is why this chart has been allowed to cook. Now, when you add a strong whale group, which we have, and you have a fully decentralized launch with no supply control, nothing was given. Nothing went out to the devs, to the team. There's no marketing. There's no call supply. Nobody controls the supply. It is fair game, which is what crypto should be about. Unfortunately, it is not because you morons still have not matured and y'all are still chasing the shitters on pump fund. And obviously, y'all are still getting wrecked. But this chart as it sits now is a pure example of no insider control, no cabal control, and full decentralization. You're looking at it. We are almost a month and a half old, and it has been up only. That doesn't happen on Solana. So we've kind of broken the code. Now, obviously, look, there's going to be a time where, there's going to be some people that are going to sell, and y'all know that. But for now, it is up only, and that is good because this hasn't even started to cook. So, and that's partly our job, right? I mean, we've done a good job. We front run the election narrative real early. So people are going to hold this all year because the midterms don't pop off until November. Having said that, that is why the chart looks the way that it does. So for those of you who are new or newer into the space, you are looking at a chart that cannot be manipulated from the inside because when we minted the contract or the supply, we put it all into the LP and we locked it forever. So that is what decentralization means for those of you who do not know what it means. No one entity can control it. And we did that on purpose. And that is why this chart looks the way that it does. And it's still going to only go up. Solana just hit $90 today. Solana rips back to 120, 130, 140. We're easily going to push, $50, $60, $70 a token. and that's going to be a clean, right now we're sitting at, we launched at $5. So we'll be at $40 by the weekend for sure. So that's a clean 8x, and still going, right? So I love the way the chart looks. It's a slow cook. I prefer it this way. I get hit up all the time. You need more volume. You need more volume. Well, no shit, Sherlock, but we're not going to manipulate the chart and do all the kind of bullshit trickery that goes on in the space just to make it look good. This looks good. This looks way better than all that shit y'all are chasing and shilling on Twitter. It's pathetic. Now, moving on. So look, midterm is it. I don't want to say it's a wrap, but it's done. It's coded. It's ready to run. It's, as you can see, it is running as we speak. But it's going to do nothing but continue to go up because the market cap's still low, and the narrative's going to rip. It's going to be the hottest narrative on X the whole year. It should have already started, but we got pushed back due to the Iran stuff. But that's okay. It'll eventually pick up because we'll be in election season anytime now. So that is midterm. So this was kind of our first test under our new launch pad where we said, look, we're just going to do full on decentralization. Let's just see what happens when there's no control. And this is where we're at right here. Perfect. It's a perfect example. So that's enough for midterm. So let me go to Whitewhale real quick. And I'm going to explain what we're going to launch with Whitewhale. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So Whitewhale rewards token is going to be the first token that we launched on the APR launchpad. So all we are waiting on at this current stage is the wallet integration, meaning that we will have the ability as a launchpad to generate and create and move the creator fees that are generated through the volume of Whitewhale rewards. And we have the ability to move them wherever we want. If I want to build an internal call team, I can pay them in stables. And the cool thing is there's no tokens. We don't have to sell tokens off. We're going to be funded. The creator fees are funded in stables. So if we want to build an internal team, which I'm still working on, but man, it's hard when you're dealing with these calls because the thing is that, I'm not going to get into that right now. So I'm going to stay on the Whitewhale reward. So, but the main thing, as you're seeing on this screen share right now, so what we are going to do is, let me explain why we picked Whitewhale number one. So we were always going to do this model. Last year, we just didn't have the ability to do it. Now we do because of the tech and the launch pad and all that stuff that we have access to now. But why Whitewhale? So for obvious reasons, look, when it was launched, I personally wasn't a fan. I just don't like anything that launches on pump. So let's just get that perfectly clear. Having said that, the perks of being me and being, as long as I've been in the space, I've seen it all. I've been through it all. I've dealt with scammers directly in federal court. I don't give a shit anymore. Right. So, but I also give credit, and not like they don't need credit from me personally, but we're going to give it anyways. And that's the point of the rewards token is, I like their vibes. I don't know who they are, like in person or real life. I don't know who they are, but I like what they stand for, and we'll see if it continues. But for now, to me, Whitewhale is the meme of the year in 2026. So what we are going to do as a friendly and not an enemy, so that's what this space has to learn how to do, is mature. So we're going to create Whitewhale rewards, and we're going to run it for two reasons, well, really three. We're going to decentralize it, number one. So we're not feeding anybody any supply. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to mint the supply, excuse me, and then we're going to put it all into the LP, and then we're going to fund the LP. So basically a fair launch, so to speak, right? So that's going to be first. So it makes our contract for the White Whale Rewards contract clean. I always say this on the on our X account. It's Bitcoin, but on Solana, because technically that's what it is. Because there's no entity that can control it, right? So that will be handled. Sorry, hold on. My wife is getting a call. Baby, you want to shut your door? Sorry, y'all. Jennifer. Sorry, y'all might be able to hear it. It's okay. Her sister's in Hawaii, so they have this huge time difference. But anyway, moving on. So, I look at it as I use the term fork, but it's technically not a fork on chain, but I'm going to call it that anyway, because what are you going to do? You're going to hit us up on X and say, Scott, it's not really a fork. Well, no shit, but we're going to call it that anyway, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? You're going to do nothing. You'll scream and bitch and whine and cry and yell and scream and bitch and whine and cry and yell, because that's all y'all do. This is what the space has now turned into. Y'all have become nothing but a bunch of whiny, broke bitches. So the mature part of the space, we recognize it. We're going to continue to call you dumbasses out. So, but when it comes to the White Whale Rewards, I get sidetracked. 3 things. So we're going to decentralize the launch or the contract. So that's done. So we already, from our side of the spectrum, we already feel good because it's clean, done. Now we can now operate within the space, and it kind of pushes, it keeps all the negativity and the FUD and all the self-generated chaos and drama that the crypto space likes to do. It makes that go quiet because you can't say anything, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is, with the ability of our creator fees on our launchpad, we will be able to move them where we want. So as it says right here, 0.5%. And look, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's better than what anybody else is doing, right? And considering we only have 4% to play with, that's a lot. So we're going to 0.5% of the creator fees. We're going to buy back the White Whale OG, the original, the one that we're helping fund their charts. We're going to buy the White Whale token. From there, we're going to stake. As you can see right here, they have a staking platform. So we're going to stake it or lock it, whatever term you want to use, and we're going to do it forever. I think they have a max of 60 years. So whatever supply we buy, it'll never get sold. We're going to lock it forever because, quite frankly, we don't need it. We don't want it, and we don't need to sell it because we're not crackheads. This is not what we're here for. We're not here to continue to extract from the space. So from the 0.5% of our own creator fees, we're going to buy back White Whale and then stake that. And of course, that wallet will be public and everybody will be able to follow it, and that's perfectly fine. And it'll kind of keep everybody shutting up, right? Because then you can say, Sky, you're not doing anything. Well, no, bullshit. Here's the wallet. On top of that, so what we'll be able to do now is we'll use 1% of the creator fee. So 0.5% will come from base bid themselves, and another half will come from our side. So that'll be 1% will buy back our own rewards token. So the White Whale rewards token. So as we are doing with MIDTERM, whenever we buy MIDTERM, or like what we're going to do with White Whale rewards, we are going to keep that supply as a giveaway wallet supply, whatever. So we always do like doing giveaways within our projects, and we're going to do the same with White Whale rewards. So that will incentivize holders to invest more, because we'll send you an airdrop of the tokens, but those will be tokens that we actually buy. So we're going to be buying our chart. We're going to be buying the White Whale chart, and everybody's going to live in harmony. Didn't y'all get it? So we're going to support them. And like I said in the previous video, we're going to act more like a minor league team, under a major league team, because let's be clear, White Whale is built and is being built, and they've done a spectacular job of building that community. And then we are just going to follow up, and, I hate trying to say it because I'm trying to find the terms that are correct, because everybody in the space is so emotional. but we're here. It's a support system at the end of the day, man. We're not, you'll never catch us being the enemy. We're always going to be the friend. And that's just the way we operate here, because the team, including myself and especially our internal whales that we have, they're here to push, right? We're not a bunch of pussies in the space, right? So this is a friendly move. And as I said prior, I'm not a fan of rotation. If you have to rotate, so I'll give you an example. If you have to sell your white whale to buy our token, to just hold your white whale, I will be perfectly clear. We don't need the rotation out from them into our token, right? I'm not here to create a 40, 100, $200 million runner, because it's probably not going to happen, but that's not what we're doing anyways. It's just a support. If we can get a fraction of the volume that white whale gets, then we're good, right? Because we have now allowed a new entry on a decentralized meme fork, and we're going to support white whale on buybacks and stake their tokens. So look, this is going to be cool. This is going to be the first token that we launch on our platform. Hopefully it's next week. But we'll see. But we're getting closer. So it's all good. So that's kind of what the White Whale Rewards is about. And obviously, look, as it grows and as the space grows, and even as White Whale grows and expands and builds, and they do what they're doing, and they do some badass giveaways, by the way, which is insane. I think they gave away like $250,000 in stables last month, which is nuts. So look, wherever this goes, it goes. But as far as it being created, this is why we're creating it. This is what we always wanted to do with our tech and our model. And look, once White Whale's done and built, we'll play around and we'll do what we do, and we're gonna continue launching meme forks, right? So we already have plans to move on to other established communities. So that's one thing we're not going to do. We're not going to create from scratch a new meme, because quite frankly, I do not personally have the power to do so, because I am not part of the cabal. Nor am I going to spend, like I did in 2025, ungodly amounts of money just for investors to shit on the team. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. So the space will take care of the token, as it should, and we are going to make it fair for everybody, because it will be truly decentralized, and we are going to always uphold the end of our bargain when it comes to our buybacks and support. And we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling, and that is what we intend to do. Now, one other little small hint that is coming as well. So where am I? At 18 minutes. Okay, good. I'm going to try to get this under 21 minutes. So I have personally been marketing in Web 2. So I will just give y'all some teasers. We are going to be launching some projects that are going to be tokenizing influencers and content creators. And we're talking big YouTubers, some auto guys. I've been talking to one former WWE superstar. So look, there's a whole side of the space that wants to get into crypto, but they don't know how, because look at our history. Everybody's rugged. Every rapper's rugged. Every artist has rugged. You've all got fucked. That will change, because we are going to do this through LegalX Global LLC. We're going to register all the contracts. We're going to decentralize all the launches, and we're going to allow the creators and the influencers in their industry to brand themselves and tokenize their brand without the fear of a rug or a team that is nefarious, that is using them to pump the token price. It's not going to that's not how we run the business, and it's not how we're going to run the launchpad. So that is coming. I'll just tell y'all straight up, it's coming, and we're working on a few right now. And we plan on launching the first one after White Whale Rewards, but as we get further down the road, I'm not going to, we'll announce it when we do it. But for now, look, it's about MIDTERM, which is banging right now. And then we're going to first launch White Whale Rewards, and then we're going to play that out, see what it looks like, how it looks on launch, and we will go from there. But that's kind of an update, everybody. So I will let y'all get, and we'll do a follow up probably this weekend or sometime next week. Y'all have a good one.